So I get asked all the time how to create thumbnails for your YouTube video, how to make them stand out, and I am going to walk you through exactly how I do it on my iPad to create my thumbnails for my YouTube videos. What's up guys, my name is Ryan Weber and I'm here to help you with your video marketing, and today we're going to look at a little different type of video, and it's going to be how to create these thumbnails for your YouTube channel. I know this looks nice, but it's literally not connected. I'm just using the microphone on top of my camera, but it looks real good and you probably thought it was on there. But today we're going to walk through, I'm going to take you into my iPad and I'm going to show you exactly how I am creating thumbnails for my YouTube channel, because I get asked this a lot. People are asking me how I'm doing this certain thing, and it's really easy. I use two different apps and I kind of have some settings now, and I have some philosophies that we're going to go over of why we do things. But I'm going to walk you through literally step by step how I'm going to create a thumbnail. I won't do this video because I don't have my thumbnail yet, but I have some pictures that I took because I just redid the office studio here. So, I just took some photos to show people because I was proud of it, but I'll show you exactly how to do it from one of those photos. So before we get started, a couple things to consider. Your thumbnail needs to stand out. It is one of the most important things when people are searching for your video. It needs to stand out. It needs to look good. It needs to grab attention. It needs to look better than the rest of the videos with the same topic as yours. So how are we doing this? What are kind of the formula pieces for a thumbnail? Number one, it needs to be able to be visible from mobile. Mobile's itty bitty. You need to make sure that the text that's on there or the photo that's on there is visible and looks good for mobile. Number two, it needs to be contrasty. It's got to stand out. So if it's a real flat image, it's probably not going to stand out from the rest of the images. So it's got to contrast with everything else. Another kind of bonus tip on that, it's going to contrast from YouTube's colors. YouTube is red, white, and black. If you have your colors as red, white, and black as well, it's probably going to kind of blend in with YouTube. So I like to use different colors. Purple's a good one, yellow, things that are not similar to red, white, and black. Next kind of goes with the look of it. On your thumbnails, on the right side of the thumbnail is generally at the very bottom. You don't want to have anything because YouTube puts the little time cap. It tells you how long your video is, or it says sponsored ads or something like that down in the bottom right. So you want to keep everything away from that bottom right. And what I like to do is have a picture of me. If most of my videos are of me, so the picture of me is either on the right side or right in the middle. And if I'm on the right side, I'm gonna be probably pointing to the middle. And then on the left side of the thumbnail, I'm gonna have all of my text of whatever that video is about, something to grab attention, or sometimes even the video title. But when you're doing that text, you wanna make sure it's very clear, concise. Sometimes I put too much text, so try and keep it short, simple, and really attention grabbing for your thumbnail. So I just airdropped one of the photos onto my iPad, and we're gonna dive in here. Let me turn my screen recording on so you can see what I'm doing. But I'm gonna show you on my iPad, I'm gonna keep this video going as well, exactly what I am doing to do my thumbnails. There's two apps that I use. App number one is called Superimpose. That's where I go first, Superimpose X. And down at the bottom here, I'm gonna hit the plus and I'm gonna select the image that I would like to use. Now, YouTube is in a 16:9 format, horizontal format. So down at the very bottom, we want to select that 16:9. And so I've got the 16:9 selected. Gonna cut it out kind of for having me in the middle, and we will select that. So as you can see here, I'm actually on the wrong side. I need to be on the opposite side, so we need to flip this thing. And so we're gonna go to transform here. We're gonna go flip horizontally, and now I am on the right side, pretty much on the right side, so my text can go on the left side. It's exactly what we're looking for. It's a good looking image, it's very contrasty, it stands out. You saw someone's face like this, you'll probably be like, what the heck is this idiot doing? So probably good for our YouTube thumbnails. The next thing I do is I like to mask out my person. So I like the person to kind of stand off the background. And so I'm gonna mask it. And so we'll click on that little mask button, go to the mask tool. I'm gonna auto mask people, see what happens, and it's pretty dang good right there. So I'll just go through and make some small adjustments, and I'm gonna speed this up so you don't have to literally watch me mask myself out. All right, so we're masked out pretty good. The next thing I go into is this editor. I click on tools, and I like to have that little outline of my person. So we're gonna use the mask outline here, and we'll also be able to see how we did with our masking. It looks like we did a pretty good job. I don't like it that thick, so I make it a little thinner here. I kind of like that pencil looking outline, and you'll hit that check mark. The next thing I'll do is I'll go to the layers, hit cast shadow, because I want a shadow behind it. I want that person to pop off the background, and I'll increase the blur amount a little bit just so it has a little bit more, maybe a little bit more opacity. And then from there we look pretty good. The next thing I do is I add that picture back to it in another layer. So I'll add a second layer, we'll go to 16:9 again, adjust it where we needed to, and hit fit to canvas. So that picture's back on there, but it's covering up the other layer. So we're gonna move the first layer that we made the mask above it. And, oh, we forgot to flip it. So we also need to flip horizontally. So when you look at that, that's a pretty good looking image as far as a thumbnail. What I like to do every now and then, that's a little dark. I'd like to kind of be a little bit lighter. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a photo layer of just colors, and I'm gonna make it white so I can have it almost like a black and white look. And we'll do the 16:9 again. Now we have that photo layer. We will move it to the middle, and then we're gonna click on blend for the layers. And we're gonna look at how this thing looks with an overlay. Let's see, maybe saturation makes it black and white. I think I kind of like the overlay there. So we're gonna use this overlay. It makes it a little brighter in the background. It kind of stands out a little bit more. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select on myself. I'm gonna brighten myself up just so I can pop a little bit more off of that image. And so we'll go to the filter, the basics and brightness, and then put that contrast up a little bit. So that stands out pretty good. If I saw that, it's something I might want to click on. The next thing, I don't like how it's not quite as blurry, so I'm gonna click on that first, the overall image. I'm gonna blur that background just a little bit more. Now I really stand out like that. So once I have that background image, I'm gonna go ahead and save it to my photos. And then I'm gonna use my next app, which is FontO. FontO is my favorite app for putting images on. You can see right there, I was playing around with this image. So we're gonna add an image from our photo album, go to the image that we just created, hit done. That looks pretty good. Now we have all this space for our text. So I'm gonna click on the canvas here, custom, and then we can go to style. I already have my fonts in here, what I use for my branding. So I think this white with the blue outline is gonna be good. You can mess with how thick and thin you want the outline. I like it to jump off kind of in that 3D look. And then I like to make it a little larger here, just so it fits that look. And then I'm gonna add in the next text, which is thumbnails. And once again, go to my style, and I think I'm gonna do that one in orange. Once again, make that outline a little smaller, make it have that 3D look, and shrink it so it's next to my face. And that looks not too bad right there. Let's move it down a little bit. Not too bad. What I like to do now is add in just a background color, just so it stands out a little bit more. So if I add something, I'm gonna go to this square, and I'm gonna make this on the first piece of text here. So I'm gonna make it wider so it's the width of that. which that's probably gonna be good. We'll shrink it just a hair. Right in there. We'll shrink that height so it will fit right behind it. And that right there looks pretty good for that one. And we'll do the same thing for our thumbnails. And so when we see that right there, that looks pretty dang good. The last thing that I do, I save this, I go back to superimpose, I add that image that I just saved back to my photo here, and I fit it on the canvas, and I move this first image that we masked out above it, and that right there gives it that little bit of pop off of the background. So this is literally what I would do to create my thumbnails. It's the two apps that I use, FontO and Superimpose X. This is how I create my custom thumbnails. Guys, if this has been helpful for you for YouTube, make sure you hit my subscribe button, like my channel, like this video, give me some comments, and let me know what you would like to see next for your video and marketing stuff. Once again, my name is Ryan Weber, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video.